What's going on, all you natural bodybuilding freaks out there? This is Rob Hoffman from Not Normal Physiques, and today I'm bringing you a video of how to approach your bodybuilding training and nutrition. Bodybuilders are looked at in a very stereotypical way. We're known as hard workers, and we take pride in that. When it comes to dieting down for a show, we eat less than everyone, we eat cleaner than everyone, we do tons more cardio than everyone, and when it's time to put some muscle on, we eat way more than everyone, we train way harder than everyone, and we get bigger than everyone. But what if I said that a good bodybuilder is not necessarily the hardest worker, but the smartest worker? Chances are a lot of you watching this video are very hard workers, and that's not even a question. The question is, why are you not getting the results that you're working so hard for? At this point, the answer should be pretty simple to you. There's a right and a wrong way to obtain the results that you're looking for. If there wasn't a right and wrong way, there wouldn't be college majors such as nutritional sciences or exercise physiology that you can go to school for 10 years to keep continuing your knowledge. Now, don't get me wrong here. Working hard definitely has its place, and for some, working hard without working smart can get them a very nice physique. The genetically gifted people can obtain a physique without ever having to pay attention to how smart they're working. But for the majority of us, we will run into a wall where training smart is going to take over and training hard is not going to be as important. Before we go on, I want to make one thing clear. When I say there's a right way to do this, I'm not talking about a specific training program or a specific diet that everyone should follow. Everything is very individualized and everyone will need to do something different. But there are right principles that should be applied to everyone's training and nutrition, and that's what I'm going to get into right now. First off, we're going to talk about dieting down. Typically, a bodybuilder just needs to eat less carbs, eat way less calories, do tons of cardio, and suffer. Yeah, we take pride in suffering. That's what makes us better than other people. But guess what? The way we're approaching this, we're going to run into a wall real fast, and that suffering is going to be for nothing. The first thing I'm going to address about this approach is that your self-worth is not determined about how hard you're working to get fit. Yeah, that's reality. You're doing what you love, but everyone else is doing what they love. So let them be, and don't judge them because they're not trying to get fit. You're not better than them just because you're dieting. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about nutrition. Right now I'm going to introduce to you the minimalist approach. You're going to see throughout this video that everything that I recommend to you is going to take this minimalist approach. You're going to want to lose at the slowest rate possible to achieve the final physique within the amount of time that you have. You're going to want to lose typically 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight per week. To do this, you want to eat in the minimal caloric deficit possible while allowing you to achieve that rate of loss that you're desiring. Now, the benefits to this is obviously that you're just going to be able to eat the maximum amount of food while leaning out throughout the whole entire diet. Now, there are many physiological benefits to keeping your carbohydrate level as elevated as possible throughout the course of the diet. But we're really concerned as bodybuilders with the fact that hormones will be regulated and that we're going to be able to perform at our maximum given the circumstances that we're in a caloric deficit. In turn, we're going to retain as much muscle as possible given our genetic capabilities. Now let's talk about the gaining side of nutrition, where it's time to go into a long off season and pack on as much lean tissue as possible. Notice I said lean tissue and not as most weight as possible. Most bodybuilders take the approach to eat whatever they want in hopes of just putting on as much weight as possible. In all reality, you can't put on that much muscle in a year if you're natural. I have a little chart here from Lyle McDonald, who is a very knowledgeable writer in the bodybuilding community. It says, for the trainee who has only been training for 1 year, 20 to 25 pounds of muscle is possible in a year, with 2 pounds per month being the optimal rate of gain. For a 2-year trainee, 10 to 12 pounds per year is possible. For 3 years, it's only 5 to 6 pounds, with a half a pound per month for your rate of gain. Finally, for 4 years or more, you're only looking at 2 to 3 pounds per year, which is typically what you see bodybuilders trying to put on per week, let alone per year. Now obviously, this adds up to a lot of excess fat mass, and what happens with all that excess fat mass? 1, you're not happy with yourself and you don't even look like you lift. 2, when it comes time to diet, you're going to have to diet harder and longer, which is going to make you lose more muscle throughout the course of your diet, and also you're going to experience a lot of the negative effects of dieting. Eating in a caloric surplus allows you to put on muscle, but at a certain point, you're not going to put on more muscle by eating more food. You cannot force feed growth. You can only gain what you're naturally capable of gaining. So how do you approach your nutrition in the off season? Again, with the minimalist approach. You're going to want to find the amount of food that you can recover well from your off-season training, and that ensures you're putting on weight fast enough to be gaining the maximal amount of muscle, which remember is most likely very small, and also that allows you to keep off as much fat as possible while gaining that muscle.